the other thing that's been bothering me is injuries. Your guys, they weren't going out 3, 4, 5, 6 guys every month on the injured list. I don't. What's going on here?
Well, this is one of my pet theories and pet complaints. The fact that we have now got so much weight. We probably got in every clubhouse in the major leagues probably $500,000 worth of weight equipment. Everybody wants to be body beautiful. Now, fine, I have nothing against a certain amount of weights that you do to improve your strength or something, but they say these guys lifting 400 or 500. For what? What does that prove? Anyway, a good example of that is I was at the All-Star game, not the All-Star game, but Cooperstown, 2 or 3 years ago to see Tony Gwynn, whenever Tony Gwynn got inducted. And I was sitting in the lobby of the hotel with the former commissioner of baseball, Fay Vincent, Johnny Bench, Bob Gibson, Bob Feller, broadcaster for the Braves now. Anyway, and we're talking, and Feller gets up there and says, "Can you imagine?" They start telling about the pitch counts and the innings pitched. He said, "Can you?" And the strength and conditioning. He says, "Can you?" This is Feller. Can you imagine? I pitched 320 innings one year. They took a week off, and then they went barnstorming and pitched 60 more innings. And he said, we went to spring training. He said, our spring training exercises was running foul line to foul line and doing some jumping jacks. That was it. Today, they're lifting all these. And I think this is why you're getting pull muscles, why you're getting shoulder injuries, is because of the weights. But, you got conditioning doctors and people like medical people saying, weight program's great. What are you going to do?
And all the pitchers are going down.
Well, a lot of them are going down because, today, pitchers are throwing 90, 95 miles in high school.
100. Oh, in high school?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of guys throwing 100.
Yeah.
Because the parents are saying, that's the way you can get a lot of money. Throw hard. Don't figure out whether you're developing your other pitches or becoming a good pitcher. Go out and light up the radar gun.
Yeah,
That's like I was speaking at the Southern League banquet a couple of years ago, and there was a bunch of scouts in the audience, and someone asked the question, would I think about becoming a general manager again? I said, no, not really, but if I did, I'd fire all the scouts. And they looked at me. I said, I'd fire all the scouts and hire highway patrolmen with their guns to go out and scout the players. Well, they just scout the gun. They don't see what's going on. You throw 100, you got a chance. And that's why now you get guys throwing 95. A good example is when I was here in 3, Brad, we had the gun.
Your relief pitcher?
No, we had the light on the scoreboard telling you how hard. Benny would throw a pitch. 96.
Oh my God.
97.
Wow.
So they kept trying, and this is what I believe is a lot. And if you notice the guys that have had Tommy John the last 5, 6 years, probably 75, 80% of them are hard guys that throw hard. Because they're so muscling up. But now, with the weights, they've tightened all that stuff. So now
and then it pops.
And it pops, right. And I think that's I don't know.
It's sad to see so many pitchers going
It's
down.
the same way with these guys. They said, look, you can't, the theory that you hear television announcers and radio announcers, he's pitched, he's got 100 pitches, or he's pitched 150 innings, and so forth and so on. Well, look at the guys that have had Tommy John. Strasburg, they put inning limit, cut him short. Stop at 170. Harvey, stop at 170. All these guys to stop and come up the next year and hurt their arm. Johnny Sain was a pitching coach for me.
He was the best.
1 year.
Was he one of the best?
Huh?
Was he one of the best?
Very. And he was always say to me, and he used to tell the pitchers, you got a greater chance In fact, he had all these guys throwing every day. He said, you got a greater chance of hurting your arm with inactivity than you do with activity. So he would have them throw, not hard, but at least throwing 5 or 10 minutes off the mound and working on some pitches, but not airing it out like you would in the game. But keep your arm active. But, it's a new generation. People, people are like the innings pitch and stuff. Someone started that a few years ago, so now everybody wants to follow suit. That's just like the 4 or 5 man rotation. When I first broke in as a manager with Kansas City, I had 9 pitchers on my pitching staff. 9. Today they're talking about starting with 13.
13.
Come on. I never had any sore arms. I managed 17 years in the minors, 17 years in the big leagues, and I have never had a pitcher that had Tommy John.
Wow.
Now some of the guys, we had Burnett, but he was before I got here. And guys after
You had no control.
But I was in control. Nothing. And I pitched him. I never worried about it. I could tell when a pitcher was losing it. I didn't worry about whether 75 pitches was it. We're not that smart.
So when you go out to them, what do you do to know whether you're going to take them out or not? What do they have to say to you to stay in? Does it work?
I made my mind up.
You made your mind up?
I learned that from when I first started managing. Danny Murtaugh was kind of...
Oh, my God.
Danny, I played for Danny in New Orleans. He was kind of... I leaned on him, and he said, you control every pitch of this game, and don't let them talk you out of the game. Bertie Tebbets used to tell me, you go out, you make your mind, nobody takes your mind. In fact, a couple of years, I managed, I let the pitching coach go make the changes.
Oh.
That way they couldn't talk you out of the game. They couldn't talk you out of it.
Send them out, that's it.
You're gone. I had some good pitching coaches. Don Gullett, Galen Cisco, Johnny Sane. Learned a lot. I learned a lot about pitching. But I also learned that you had guys like Jim Cott. Can you imagine now? I managed Jim Cott as an 18-year-old kid.
Wow.
In Missoula, Montana.
Wow.
When the roster was 17 players.
Wow.
17 players in a strong Class A league.
Wow.
So I was a playing manager. I was the catcher, so that took care of one of the players.
Oh, jeez.
Jim Cott pitched 251 innings for me. He was 17 and 8 or something like that. And I'll never forget the story of Calvin Griffith. I was working for the Twins then. Calvin Griffith and Joe Haynes. Joe Haynes was a former big league pitcher and pitching coach, and kind of the pitching guru. And Cott pitches a 2-hit shutout. They come to Missoula to see us play. Chuck Dresson too. And we go out to dinner after the game, and I said to Cott pitched a 2-hit shutout. And I said, what'd you think of Cott? Not enough stuff to pitch in the big leagues. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make you a bet that he pitches in the big leagues in 2 years. Oh, we take that. Well, 6 months later, he's pitching in the big leagues.
For how many years?
And 25 years
25 years.
25 years later, his arm gives out. So now you see, you can go through the record books last year and never see a guy in the I don't think in the majors or the minors that pitched 251 innings.
And how does a guy like Colon, he played some great ball for the Mets the last 2 or 3 years. I was surprised to see him switch teams. How does he, here's a guy, he's 285, 5'10" and 285, taking a whole load around on every pitch. How do you explain that?
The guy knows how to pitch. That's it. He's learned through the years. He lost the good fastball that he had, but now he's made adjustments. He's come up with a slider, and he's come up with a split finger, and all these and different wind-ups, and he's got pinpoint control, so that kind of helps him. But here's a guy you talk about, Colon. If he's not winning, they'll say he's too fat. And when if you're going bad, they're blaming your weight. and no one blames his weight now when he's pitching like he is.
And hitting the home run. Is that home run that he hit? His first ever?
Yeah, he's good.
That's incredible
He's
stuff.
good.
You know, you talked about the interesting deliveries. Juan Marichal
Yeah.
had one of the most devastating deliveries.
Yeah, those guys. That's an asset. It changes. It's like the guys that throw underhand. You know, the different. They don't see that too often. It kind of confuses the hitter.
Yeah. I'm actually amazed that they can hit that submarine pitch after looking at 80 or 90.
Well, you can hit it if you just kind of wait. But mostly, you see it and you're ready to go.
Coach, you're the best. Thanks so much.